hate that nowadays, if you even think to say that you want friends or that you want to be in a relationship, people immediately shut you down and they say that you're broken, you need to heal, there's something wrong with you. And it's like, no, like, I don't think we're all meant to just live in isolation. People just continue to say, like, like, we need to learn how to enjoy your own company, and, you know, you don't, like, basically this whole thing of, like, you don't need friends. And it's like, yes, I do. Now, granted, I'm not gonna, like, force it, obviously, and I haven't been forcing it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with me wanting close friendships with people. But I feel like a lot of times people will make me feel like I'm wrong for wanting that. I'm in a space too now where it's like I don't feel like I can really rely on people. I feel like people have just constantly just let me down. They have a million excuses as to why they can't be there for me, or why they can't answer a text message, or why they can't show up to something. Like, people always have a million reasons as to why they can't show up for me, and I just really want more people that show up for me. Hey everyone, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video, and we are going to be reacting to this TikTok where basically she is discussing how you can't live in this life alone and without a support system. And this is something that I 1,000% agree with, but it's also something that I've had a hard time trying to explain to people, because I feel like, again, like in this era that we're in now, like everybody just wants to put their guards up and not have any sense of community. Like, I just feel like everybody's just so, like, hyper independent that even when it comes down to friendships and relationships, everyone's just on this energy of being like, oh, I don't need anybody, I don't want anybody in my life. But I don't feel like that is, I mean, listen, everybody is different, right? There are some people who do thrive in isolation and they don't mind literally never going out to hang out with anybody or not spending time with people. There are some people that are genuinely happy and content with being single and not being in a relationship. And so, I get that, but to expect that for everybody and to think that everybody should be that way and should live like that, I feel like it's unrealistic. And it kind of goes back to that whole thing of, people saying like, oh, you don't need friends, and you don't need a relationship, and you don't need X, Y, and Z. And it's like, but some people want that, and that's okay. I hate that nowadays, if you even think to say that you want friends or that you want to be in a relationship, people immediately shut you down and they say that you're broken, you need to heal, there's something wrong with you. And it's like, no, like, I don't think we're all meant to just live in isolation. Like, that's why the pandemic hit so hard and everybody started going crazy, because people need that. They need that sense of community. They need to be, so not everybody, but a lot of us, we need that social interaction. And we also, a lot of us crave that romantic affection as well, because a lot of people like to act as if self-love replaces romantic love, and it just doesn't. I agree that you should, of course, love yourself and cater to yourself, but to think that that somehow replaces the want and the urge to have it in a romantic sense, to me is nonsense. But that's what a lot of people think right now. So I'm really curious to see what she has to say in regards to this topic.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need people. Like, I hate this ideology that you can do it all on your own and you don't need anybody. Like, yeah, that might be so for some things, but I think at the end of the day, you need a tribe. You need the
I
people that's gonna
agree.
pray over you, that's gonna talk to you and tell you when you being dumb as hell, or when
Mm-hmm.
you need to get your life together, or be there for you when you are down and out and you have nowhere to go. Like,
No, literally, like, and it's so crazy because I've been saying this for a while, and again, like, people just continue to say like, like, we need to learn how to enjoy your own company, and you don't, like, basically this whole thing of like, you don't need friends. And it's like, yes, I do. Now, granted, I'm not gonna, like, force it, obviously, and I haven't been forcing it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with me wanting close friendships with people. But I feel like a lot of times people will make me feel like I'm wrong for wanting that. Or even when people are like, like that's the other thing too. The assumptions that people make about me is wild. But I feel like a lot of people think that I do have a lot of close friends, but that I want this big group of close friends. Because I even hear people say, like, oh, I mean, sometimes all you need is one or two good friends that you're really close to. Yeah, that's what I'm literally, that's what I'm literally saying that I want. I want one to two close girlfriends that I can talk to about anything, that I can text whenever and not feel like I'm annoying them or I'm a burden to them. And like I just want those friendships where we're super involved in each other's lives and we talk all the time. Maybe not 24/7, but like we talk often, we share personal things that are going on in each other's lives. Like I want more of that. And I don't feel like I really have that. I feel like all of my friendships right now, they are kind of very surface level. We talk every now and then. I'm initiating most, if not all, conversations, and I hate that. I hate feeling like I'm, you know, making people feel as though they're obligated to talk to me just to, be nice or whatever. Like I don't want that. Like she said, I want my tribe. I want my community of people. Because even too, it's like I'm in a space too now where it's like I don't feel like I can really rely on people. I feel like people have just constantly just let me down. They have a million excuses as to why they can't be there for me, or why they can't answer a text message, or why they can't show up to something. Like people always have a million reasons as to why they can't show up for me, and I just really want more people that show up for me. And so I feel her on that.
You need those people. Like I don't know what I would
Yeah.
do without my friends. I don't know what I would do without my family. Like, and I think a lot of us lack discernment, which is why we feel like we don't need anybody because the people that we have around us are not feeding us. They aren't helping us grow. Find those people, because when you find those people, I promise you they're gonna take you so much further
I'm
on your
trying.
path. Like without these people in my life, I don't know where I would be. And they were sent to me. Like I feel like they were sent to me. Like y'all,
And that's what I've heard people say too. Hold on, I'm gonna let the video finish out.
find your people.
But yeah, and listen, I know I have all this life to live. I know. But yeah, it is a little disheartening when, again, I'm approaching my mid 20s. I'm not there yet, but I'm approaching my mid 20s. And I still feel like I don't have that solid friend group or that solid friend circle that I've been wanting since the beginning of time. And it's just really unfortunate because I do tend to think about, like, dang, like if I really wanted to go hang out this weekend, who am I going to call? Or even just like, if I needed help with things. Like people say a whole lot, but they don't do a whole lot. And that's a whole other thing where people will say that they're there for you and whatever I need, let them know. But then when it comes down to that time, it's like they're nowhere to be found. And it's just like, really, like some people I feel like in my life too are like unreachable even. And it's just really unfortunate. And in me thinking about, the next steps, and in me trying to move out and be independent, I feel like this would be the most ideal time for me to have a support system. Because with me moving and me trying to figure things out and me not knowing a whole lot just about life or adulting in general, I feel like this would be the time where I would need my friends to support and to lean on. But I don't feel like I do. I don't feel like I can really rely on anybody, whether it's to help me um figure out certain things, or what I should be looking for when it comes to, getting an apartment, or figuring out what area to live in, or, like just things like that, or even like moving in. Like I can't even think of anyone that would even help me move into my apartment other than my mom. Like I just don't feel like I don't have that support system. And so that's why for me, I'm just very cautious about every move that I make, because I feel like if I make a misstep or I need help with something, I only really have myself to depend on. And so that's why I'm trying to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row and that my financial situation is straight. Like I don't want to depend on anybody else for anything. And I think that's also the other thing too, is like I've been so dependent on other people, and it's just led to more and more disappointment. Like I've just continued to get let down, and it's like I really can't rely on anyone for anything. And so I'm just in a space where I just don't look for that anymore. I don't look for help. I don't look for guidance. I don't look for anyone to help me, whether it's um with life stuff, or even like my personal stuff, like when I'm going through stuff. Like a lot of times I just keep to myself. I don't vent to people like that anymore. I don't really share what I'm going through with people, because then it gets down, because then it goes to that whole thing of like, well, they don't have the capacity to hear me vent, and they don't really know what to say. But that's the same answers I get from everybody all the time. It's always, oh, this isn't a good time. And it's like, I get that sometimes, but when you're never there for me, like, it just is really disheartening when it's like, it's always the same thing of like, well, I don't know what to tell you, or, well, I'm not really in a space to hear, which I understand. I'm not saying like, don't communicate that, but what I am saying is that I get that so much from the same people. I can't remember the last time someone was like, just go all in, just vent, just, I want to hear everything. I can't remember the last time someone did that for me, or someone that I consider close to me doing that. Like, I've had more strangers reach out to me and offer that support than people in my own circle, which sucks. And that's what I'm saying. I don't, and and don't get me wrong, I do accept that help, but I just wish it was the people that I want to be there. You know what I mean? And so, I know that as time goes on, hopefully I'll meet more people, and eventually I'll feel as though that I do have that tribe and that support system and people that I can depend on. Cuz right now I feel like I can only really depend on myself, and that's a crappy feeling. I feel like, again, when I'm going through things, I'm really the only one that pulls myself out of it. And I feel like when it comes to me trying to figure out life, I feel like a lot of it is me just trying to figure it out on my own. But then also being scared to make mistakes. Because even when it comes down to that, even with my mom, and I've said this time and time before, my mom's kind of overprotective, and she doesn't really want me to, even though she says she wants me to be independent and do my own thing, she's not really giving me any tools to do so. It's like anything that even remotely seems like an independent thing, she wants to take over. Like, she wouldn't even let me go to the movies by myself when I went to go see Black Panther. And so it's like, I'm not really able to get that support and that guidance from her, and then I'm not really getting it from my friends either. So I feel alone. Like, I do feel alone, and I feel like I'm going about life alone, having to figure everything out. And that's important to do. It's important for me to be able to do this stuff for myself, but it would also be nice if I could just relieve some of that burden off of me for once, the way that I do for other people, and just get that same thing in return. But yeah, let me know what you guys thoughts are in the comments down below. I'm sorry, I feel like this was a lot of rambling, so my apologies if I wasn't on the same page throughout the whole video. I just kind of was speaking from my mind. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.